Bell is a minor hostile entity indoors, appearing in the hotel and the mines. It was intended to be added in the Hotel Plus update, but backlogged. It was added in the Hunter update as a secret entity, then fully added in the Mines update. Lucas Bell appears as a white and lightly deformed blue sponge-shaped face with 172 hollowed-out hole spots. Its upper half has many of what looks like eyes. In the lower middle of its face is a bigger mouth. In the lower half, there are mouths along and around the bigger mouth. Wispy blue-gray testicles protrude from all sides, fading out towards the end. Sometimes, Lucas Bell appears with an inverted texture. However, when Lucas Bell is being crucified, most of its testicles disappears and more holes are seen in its face. It also becomes very blurry, similar to Lucas. Lucas Bell can only spawn if a player stays in a single room until the in-game clock hits midnight. Before Lucas Bell spawns, the lights in the room flicker for a longer period of time than usual, followed by the now audible sound of the player's breathing, and less contrast on the player's screen. If the electrical work modifier is active, the player will experience a slight blur after some time. The rate of time passage is faster as players progress through the floor. It is also faster with the modifier run from it, and even faster with Destiny still arrives. When Lucas Bell spawns, all lights will turn off as players' screens start to darken and starts exhibit a grayscale tint. Afterwards, it will slowly chase players while remaining nearly invisible. When Lucas Bell reaches a player, it will immobilize them and emit a static-like texture, then instantly kill the player. Lucas Bell has small whispers, and they get louder as Lucas Bell gets closer to the player. If Lucas Bell spawns and a player opens the door to the next room before Lucas Bell kills them, Lucas Bell will immediately despawn and grant the player the Dead of Night achievement. If Lucas Bell reaches any player during its chase, it will immobilize them, killing them after a few seconds. Players can survive after being immobilized if Lucas Bell is to spawn right before being killed. If a numbered door is opened after the chase has started, Lucas Bell will despawn successfully and the chase will end. Crucifying Lucas Bell has the same effect, stopping the chase. Lucas Bell's spawn point depends on the player's position. This can be used to know where the next door is. Horizontally, axes X and Z in the spot aligned with the next unopened numbered door and the player, following the imaginary line connecting them, beyond the player in that same direction. It will always spawn exactly 64 studs away from the player. Vertically, axis Y, the same coordinate as the player's. During the chase, most of the sound frequencies are reduced significantly while Lucas Bell is active. This makes it very hard to hear other entities, like Screech, but still possible. Make sure to look around when trying to crucify Lucas Bell. Lucas Bell, like Screech, Nathaniel Stevens, Holt, Haste, Timothy, is a client-sided entity, meaning that each player will be chased by a different Lucas Bell. However, if any player crucifies Lucas Bell, Lucas Bell will stop chasing every player and everyone will be able to see the Lucas Bell that the player crucified. Players can crucify Lucas Bell with a crucifix if Dread tries to damage them while holding it. When this happens, the time will set to 11 o'clock and will move a lot slower, taking 1 real hour to spawn, until the next door is opened. Lucas Bell won't allow players to equip or unequip items after immobilizing them. Because of this, when crucifying Lucas Bell, make sure you equip the crucifix before being immobilized. Grabbing a crucifix from the ground while being immobilized is possible. Lucas Bell can be crucified through this way too. Lucas Bell can only spawn in the main floors, the hotel and the mines. It does not spawn in subfloors, the rooms, the outdoors, and the back door. In subfloors, when holding an alarm clock, it will always say it's midnight, but the time won't move at all. The time, and all clocks, will freeze if every player in the game is AFK. Dead players that are spectating don't count as AFK unless they died while being AFK, meaning the time won't freeze if someone is spectating. This is likely not intentional. There is currently a bug where clocks will continue to move, not visually while everyone is AFK, but will only become visible once a player is active again. This is only a visual bug with clocks, as the actual time doesn't really move. Players cannot survive Lucas Bell's damage with any amount of Star Shield, as it is an instant kill entity. God mode can allow players to survive its jump scare. However, in the 2024 Trick or Treat event, if the run from it candy is eaten, the time will be set to 12 o'clock, forcing Lucas Bell to spawn. Lucas Bell will not be able to use the pre-run shop. Bloom bats are a mix between a bat and a moth. They can have either a green, yellow, cyan, red, pink, white, blue, purple and orange body, 6 small legs, and 2 big, body color dependent glowing eyes, a mouth with sharp teeth and 2 fangs on the edges, a moth-like body with 2 antennae with multiple smaller antennae coming out like a leaf of some sort and 4 wings. When a door is opened in the mines, there is a chance for gloom bats to spawn in the room. They are usually in a group of 5 or more and fly around the mines. They hate lights, and will viciously swarm around them to try and disable or break them as soon as possible. As such, most rooms that they spawn in will be dark. If any player uses any type of light source, other than glow sticks and laser pointers, near them, they will attack the player until the light source is gone or the user dies. There are a few ways to get rid of the gloom bats, such as waiting for a door to be illuminated by guiding light, since the blue light it emits usually makes them go away, or try to make them backtrack into a room with figure for it to eat them. Breathe and extremely flammable. If a player stays in a room filled with this gas for too long, their vision will slowly darken and blur and their hearing will become muffled until they eventually pass out and die from suffocation after 53 seconds. Additionally, if the player brings a fire-producing item into a fire damp-filled room, such as a lighter with fuel or a lantern, and activates it, the fire will ignite the gas and explode, instantly killing the player. The fire damp gas will also act as a light source, although it cannot be relied on in some cases, only for a player to get rid of Lucas Bell. During the first seek chase in the mines, the player will fall, attempting to jump across a gap at door 146. They will land in a moving minecart that was spawned by guiding light. The player will then need to redirect the minecart to the correct path, indicated by arrows and the guiding light. Otherwise, they will crash and instantly die in a cutscene where they fly off the end of the track into a pit of sharp rocks. They will also need to crouch when necessary to avoid wooden planks, dealing damage and blinding them if hit. Whilst in a minecart, you cannot use or even select any items whatsoever, making said segment of the mines seek chase more difficult since you cannot use a crucifix or light source as a failsafe. The player enters a station at door 149, which is when the seek chase ends. Afterwards, the player must avoid their first encounter with the Queen Grumble, before getting thrown out at door 150, only for a player to get rid of Nathaniel Stevens. Flooded rooms are most common in the sewers, door 153 through 194, with many rooms such as Jeff's shop and others being flooded. The water is shallow enough so the player can only begin to drown by submerging their face in the water. There is also an underwater maze-like room where the players must crouch through flooded tunnels where there are pockets in some intersections where the player can stand up to breathe. Some of these have ladders that lead to upper rooms, although the next door will not spawn in these upper rooms. While crouched or if the water level is too high, a status effect of 2 red droplets will be triggered and appear, indicating that the player is currently submerged in water and will be permanently wet until they leave. After a while, the player's vision will start to become obscured, and if the player doesn't find breathable air soon, they would pass out, resulting in a death, similar to fire damp leaks, with the only difference being that the process of drowning is faster, only for the player to get rid of Huntress Wizard. The greenhouse is a vast structure with long passageway halls resembling a dilapidated greenhouse, similar to Lucas. Goodbye.